This your home girl. Oh, yeah, Bosa 914, Western County, New York. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. It is what the fuck it is. Kujana mimi kula chakula. Miji baridi. Vente. Aquí conmigo. Estoy aquí. Not in Paso. It is what the fuck it is. Shout out to the chat. I'm going live earlier than I planned. Shout out to the chat. It's nobody's fault. It's my fucking fault. I am to blame for what happened on my other channels, my bigger channel, my other channels. Shout out to the chat. It is what it is. 914 was it killing you? Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. I don't blame anybody if they don't support this channel because you are afraid. You are afraid of what's happening. You are afraid of what's going to happen. Shout out to the chat. I am your home girl, Arabia Babos. I am the BT 1000. I am the Jeeper Creeper on this shit. I am Lucy the Vampire. I am the German Shepherd in the room. Shout out to the chat. I went to work today and I was in the vibe. You get the trash out, you get the debris out, you clear out the floor. I saw somebody that resembled Birdman. Because Birdman had a lot of relatives, a lot of cousins, a lot of distant relatives, and some of them resemble him. Shout out to chat. I thought I was going crazy. I thought I was going crazy because I know Birdman died in February the 16th of this year. Shout out to the chat. And as I was working where I was working today, me and Birdman used to sit at the waterfront many, many times. And I miss Birdman. I do. I honestly miss him. I miss him. All the fighting we used to do, all the arguments we used to do, I miss that too. It was all the truth. Truth. Shout out to the chat. Truth to power. And I miss him. I miss him. Letitia, thank you for coming here. I don't know if you can hit the link. The link is in on my community wall. The link is on the community wall. Anyone that want to hit the link, the link is in the community wall. Shout out to the chat. It's not in the chat. It's not in the chat. And I don't blame nobody but me. I went to work this morning. Another job. And as I was getting off, and me and another homeboy, we was getting our paperwork signed, the boss challenged me. I said, don't you dare challenge me. We've been here since 7 o'clock in the morning. It's already almost 3:30. We already did our work. The young man got on his bicycle and rode away after he got his paperwork signed. Shout out to chat. Shout out to the motherfucking chat. And I looked at that young man, dark skin, dreads, wearing black sweatpants to the job. Before we even went to the job, we was at the dispatcher office, and he was laughing at me because they was asking me, well, what size boot do you wear? What size boot can we give you? Shout out to the chat. And I basically told him, look, give me size 7, size 8, I don't give a fuck. And I went on to the job. I did my shit. Shout out to Thaddeus. Shout out to the rabbits that's in this chat. Shout out to you. I don't know if you can hit the link. The link is on my community wall. Shout out to the chat. I don't know how to drop it in the link. I don't know how to drop it. Shout out to the chat. I don't give a fuck about how to drop it. Don't. But shout out to the chat anyway. It is what it is. And I remember Birdman very clear, very crisp. And I remember those nights we used to lay in this apartment, in my apartment, and I would hear suspicious noises outside the door. There was one particular night I heard noises. Birdman had the gun in his pants. I got up, I threw Birdman to the side, and I got his pants, and I got the gun, and I went to the fucking door. I opened the door. I was naked at a jaybird. Shout out to the chat. Birdman had to come to the door and get the gun out of my hand. He had to get the gun out of my goddamn hand. Because he knew I was always suspicious of noises outside of my door. He knew that. And he was afraid. And when he got that gun out of my goddamn hand, I crumbled to the floor and I cried. And Birdman, he didn't say nothing. He closed the door. He locked the door. He let me sit on the floor and cry. Birdman went to the refrigerator. Birdman started cooking breakfast. Eggs and bacon. That's what he did. And I cried. And I cried. And I cried. And I cried. It took him a long time to get me to eat the plate of food that he had fixed for me. See, Birdman was very special. He was a veteran. Shout out to the chat. He put up with my bullshit for a long time. 8 years, on and off, 8 years. Shout out to the chat. You know how many fights we got in? How many arguments we got in? I miss him. Every time I go to certain job positions or job space, job place, it reminds me of Birdman because that's where me and Birdman used to sit. Shout out to the chat. A lot of you don't know my real life. A lot of you don't know. You don't need to know. It's none of your business. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. I'm not perfect. I've been told y'all I was the BT 1000. I was the Jeeper Creeper on this shit. I was Lucy the Vampire. I was the German Shepherd in the room. Go over to Johnny Blaze channel or Andre O.D. Kimball channel and see those videos. See them for what they really are. Because that really showed who I really was, the true self, Arabia Barbosa. I can't hide from who I am. I can't hide. I don't care who says anything about me. I cannot hide who the fuck I am. Damaged goods. Way before I was 2 years old. Damaged goods. How dare my mother release me into the world before I was 2 years old? Before I was able to walk real good. Before I was able to even speak my first words. And those people that raised me, they didn't give a fuck. They wanted money. That's all they fucking cared about. And when those people died out, the house was inheritance. The house was there. I don't want the house. I don't want anything that belongs to dead people. I don't want or care about anything that dead people own or dead people speak about. I don't want nothing. I want my own life. I don't want their life. I don't want what happened to Sergeant Crystal Reagan to be dead and gone, but she did not leave me nothing. So we got rid of everything. According to her mother came, Miss Linda came, shout out to the chat. After Sergeant Crystal Reagan died, her mother died 3 years later. I got the phone call when I was living with my biological mother. My biological mother knew all this shit was going to stir up stuff. She knew. And she knew about her own crimes, what she did to her own children. This woman was young when she had us. 5 children. All of your children have children, have grandchildren. I'm the only one that don't have children, don't have grandchildren. But I sat at that job today and I was picking through a bag of chips and a crow came in and sat with me. I dropped the chips onto the floor. The crow ate the chips. Looked at my face real close. I talked to the bird like he was my best friend, the only friend. Because Birdman is gone now. Shout out to the chat. He's gone. Never come back. But I remember that man. That man loved to clean everything, to cook everything. That man used to bring food to my house. That man used to bring cigarettes to this house. He didn't smoke cigarettes. He didn't give a fuck about that. Shout out to the chat. And I miss him. Today was my biggest day. Because when I went down there to that job site, I thought that man that was on the pier was Birdman. And I was leaving the job site to go into the waterfront on their boardwalk to get to that man. And one of the supervisors from the job said, "Where you going? Where you going?" I said, "I'm going to the bathroom." I went to the bathroom, all right, but I went into the other area before I posted anything. Before I posted anything, I said, that's Birdman. And I was looking, I was going down that boardwalk, and my coworkers kept seeing me. They was like, oh shit, this bitch can't go off. That's what they call me, the bitch. You can't go off on the job. I didn't see the man no more. You know what I wanted to do? I wanted to leave. I didn't leave until after 3 o'clock. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. I didn't leave until after 3 o'clock. I got back to my house after 4 o'clock this afternoon. I went to the store. I bought what I needed for this house, my food, whatever I needed. That's it. When I go to the job tomorrow, I'm going to tell them, don't put me on the same job. I don't want to see Birdman again. And the woman that is over me right now, my boss, she knows what's going on. She knows. She been knowing me for years. Years, and yet she knew me way before I met Birdman. Way before I met Birdman. I met Birdman years ago, and he lived with me for like 3 months when I was on Decatur Street in North Charleston. Shout out to Jack. And Birdman, from there, we got him his own room somewhere. He was renting a room somewhere. Shout out to the chat. Then he left from the room. He went into his own apartment. Shout out to the chat. Then he went to his own house. He couldn't even enjoy his own shit. But he kept calling me and calling me. Baby, come. I said, no, you got to get used to the area. You around your mama and them. I'm not around my mama. You around your mama. He didn't even trust his own fucking family. Or the only one he trusted. Because I remember when he fell and we called 911 that year. And I remember everything after that. The pain he went through. The pain I was going through. Seeing him going through the fucking pain. During the day, he'd be all right. But at nighttime, he started calling for me. And I would go into the room and put the oil on my hands, and I would rub him down. And he would go to sleep. When he woke up the next morning, only thing he wanted to do was to fix breakfast for me. Only thing he wanted to do was clean the house where he was at. That's the only thing he wanted to do. He didn't want to do nothing else. Shout out to the chat. And I didn't get along with Birdman all the time. I didn't. Everybody knew it. Sis knew it. Sister T knew it. Queen Regina knew it. Lonnie One Love knew it. Everyone knew. I didn't get along with Birdman all the time. They knew. They didn't say nothing. They kept their mouths shut. They didn't say nothing. They didn't need to say nothing. Because I met him way before I met y'all on these YouTube streets. But he kept warning me. He said, Arabia, the main ones that are sitting in your chat or whatever, Arabia, treat them well, acknowledge them, appreciate them, but just know that they're not God Almighty. Nobody is going to heal you from your old wounds. I remember a few years ago, me and Birdman went down there to where my biological mother lived. And this was after I did the dirt to her. I knocked on the door. She closed the door back. I went back down the stairs. I got in the car, Lexus, with Birdman. I told Birdman what happened. I said, Birdman, this and that happened. I don't blame her. You know, Birdman got out of that goddamn car, went up them goddamn stairs, knocked on the goddamn door, presented himself, and he said, whatever happened between you and Arabia need to die. That's all he said. He said, I know Arabia is hard to understand and accept, but that's your daughter. And he went down the stairs, got in the car, we drove away. And he never told nobody about that situation. Never. Kept his mouth shut. That's what he did. He was loyal to me. Loyal to me. And it is what it is. I don't just cry for him. I cry for Sergeant Crystal Gray. I cry for everybody I couldn't do nothing for. Because I didn't have no big money. I had no house for anybody to go and run to. Only had an apartment for people to run to, sit in, hide out. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. And now I'm in touch with my family. And this shit is getting ready to get cringy. Getting ready to get cringy. The woman that I raised, I was 9 years old. I was 9 years old when I met this woman. This woman was 4 months old. I raised her from 4 months all the way until she was 11 years old. I went into the fucking penitentiary and she said, Arabia, you abandoned me. You left me. So anytime she sees my face, anytime she hear my voice, Arabia gonna leave. Arabia be here for a little while, but Arabia getting ready to leave. I leave not because she hurt me. It's because of my own pain from the fucking family that raised us. Brooklyn Lady Ellie said that my adoptive father did sexual stuff to me. He didn't. But he had a nephew that did. I met that nephew when I was 9 years old. We carried on until I was 14 years old. And when I told my adoptive mother about what was going on, she said, it's not sexual abuse. It's a relationship. You and him are soulmates. You and him are wife and husband without a preacher, without a judge. Shout out to the chat. I was 14 years old and I kept thinking this man was going to marry me. Shout out to the chat. But I had enough sense to know, stay in high school for a little while, then you go on to Job Corps, I didn't know after I went to Job Corps and got a regular job, I was going to go into the fucking penitentiary. When I was in the fucking penitentiary, I was in a room by myself. When I attacked the CEO and my own roommate, they put me in a room by myself in the belly of the beast. Shout out to the chat. I sat there for almost 4 years until they released me on the compound again. And even then, they couldn't really release me because any girlfriend I had slapped the shit out, abused them, beat them. That's what I used to do to them. And these women used to give me birthday parties, give me anything I wanted. Anything I wanted at that time. Shout out to the chat. And I was wrong for how I treated those women. And let me tell you something, when I maxed out my time in 2001, I met some of those women on the streets of South Carolina, on the streets of real life. And all of them treated me well. They didn't take to offense to what I did to them. They didn't take offense to what I said to them in prison. They said, Rabbi, we gonna help you. We're gonna help you get the fuck out of here. And they did. Every advice they gave. This is why I'm still floating, because of the women that I met while I was in the penitentiary. Shout out to the chat. My inmate number 221644, South Carolina Department of Corrections. That was my inmate number. That was my name. But those women called me not by my first name, not by my last name. They called me Ray Ray, Chopper Mama. I'm out of here. But I want to thank everyone for coming into the chat. Sit with me. Now if you hit the link, you don't need to hit the link. It's dangerous for you to hit the link. Let me sit by myself. Let me realize what I did to my own self. But at the same time, I hate Kwame Brown. I hate the Kwamites over there. Tommy Sotomayor. I saw his videos. I seen his videos in 2013, all the way into 2021. I believe everything he said about Kwame Brown, and I believe it to this day. Shout out to the chat. I'm out of here. Thank all y'all for coming in. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for supporting this channel. Like and share the video. If you don't do anything else, please share the video. Let my voice come onto these YouTube streets. I'm not perfect. I will never be perfect. I am the BT1000. I am the Jeepy Creeper on this shit. I am Lucy the Vampire. I am the German Shepherd in the room. And the goddamn room. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Johnny Blaze for doing his video talking about Tommy Sotomayor and Kwame Brown. Shout out to him for doing it. Very brave video. Y'all go over there and sub up to Johnny Blaze too. Sub up. Sub up to Sis Rabbit Got a Wrench. Rabbit 2 Network. Whatever. Sub up to 27 Darren. Sub up. Sub up to Moonlight. Sub up to all her channels. Sub up to Vince the Sniper. Shout out to all of them. Sub up. It is what it is. Shout out to chat. Shout out to chat. I'm not perfect. I'm not God Almighty. I told you who I was years ago. Shout out to the chat.